is Ronald Beck, and back in the 1920s, I was a prospector. I'd been prospecting for 6 years in the Mount St. Helens region in the Lewis River area in southwest Washington. In July 1924, I and 4 other miners were working our gold claim, the Vander White. It was 2 miles east of Mount St. Helens in a deep canyon. We had, in the past, found large man-like footprints in the dry creek beds. Some were 18 inches long. Up in the cabin, we sometimes heard odd whistling calls from the forest, and on one evening a booming sound like something beating its chest. Forgive me, I have glasses these days. One of the other men, Hank, asked me to accompany him one evening as he went to fetch water. On the way back to the spring, we saw a beast, upright like a man, but covered in dark brown hair. It looked more like a gorilla than anything else, except that it stood on 2 legs. It was about 100 yards away, and on the other side of a little canyon, standing by a pine tree. I reckon it was over 7 feet tall. Well, we both shot at it, but it dodged back behind the trees. We got the water as quick as we could and hurried back to the cabin. We explained the affair to the rest of the party, and we all agreed, including Hank, to go home the next morning, as it would be dark before we could get to the car. We agreed it would be unsound to be caught by darkness on the way out. Well, we began by smoking our pipes around the fireplace, and later we all climbed into our crude beds. At about midnight, something awoke me. There was a loud bang, and I saw Hank rolling around on the floor, waving his gun about. A large piece of the chinking or mortar had fallen from between the logs and fallen on him. Well, we heard a noise like heavy rocks thrown at the cabin. The cabin had no windows, but we glanced out of the hole where the chinking had fallen away. We saw 3 of the 8 black beasts together, but it sounded like there were a good many more surrounding the cabin. Well, we shot through the gap, and the creatures climbed up onto the roof, and we fired through the ceiling at them. We had to brace the hewed-out log door with a long pole taken from a bunk bed. The creatures were pushing against it, and the whole door vibrated from the impact. Well, we responded by firing many more rounds through the door. They pushed against the wall of the cabin as if they were trying to push the cabin over. Well, the attack continued the remainder of the night with only short intervals between. The most profound and frightening experience occurred when one of the creatures reached an arm through the chinking space and seized one of our axes by the handle. Before the thing could pull the axe out, I swiftly turned the head of the axe upright so that it caught on the logs. At the same time, Hank shot, barely missing my hand. The creature let go, and I pulled the handle back in and put the axe in a safe place. With the first raised door, we crept gingerly out of the cabin. I saw one of the things and pumped 3 shots into it. The creature toppled over the edge of a 400-foot gorge. We stuffed as much as we could into our backpacks and ran for the car. We never returned. We left about $200 in supplies, powder, and drilling equipment behind, but all the tea in China couldn't get me back up there. From that day on, the place was known as Ape Canyon. Thank you.
Ronald Beck, thank you very much. Now we've got another